This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, build your online presence with Squarespace. Hey everyone, Ace of Clay here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another sculpting video. Today I'm making Ticci Toby. Ticci Toby is a fictional proxy of the Slender Man from the creepypasta of the same name, written by Castaway. His story focuses on his descent into madness and his first encounter with the Slender Man. Ticci Toby is often depicted wearing this striped hoodie, has a bandana or mask around the bottom half of his face, these yellow-lensed goggles, jeans, tennis shoes, and he's sometimes shown carrying 2 axes, or 1 axe, or no axes. And before we get into sculpting, I just want to thank you all so much for 300,000 subscribers. I never thought I would get 12 subscribers, let alone 300,000. So thank you so much for that. We hit that a couple weeks ago. Thank you so much. I will be doing a giveaway soon. And now without further ado, be sure to subscribe too if you haven't already, and let's make Ticci Toby. Okay, let's make this guy. The first step, I drilled these 2 holes into my wooden plaque, the size of my aluminum wire, and I'm going to start shaping out the legs and torso for Ticci Toby. And as always, all of the materials and tools that I use in this video are listed in the description box below, along with my affiliate links if you want to purchase anything. And after securing the waist and attaching the arms with some floral wire, it's time to bulk out the torso with some Super Sculpey Ultralight. This is going to create a great base for my final layer of clay. Now we're going to bake this, and then once it's baked and completely cooled down, let's start adding our clay. Today I'm using Super Sculpey Firm. And I want to start with the legs today, so as you can see there, I just rolled out a snake of clay and I'm attaching it to the legs like so, and then just getting it on there, sort of roughing them out really quick, and then working my way down. Once I've got the legs shaped out, I'm just going to use my spoon tool to sort of smooth the surface a little bit before I go in with my fingertips. Okay, now as I cover him with more clay, let's talk about Toby a little bit more. Toby was born with several tics, which made it hard for him to fit in. He was constantly bullied and ultimately wasn't able to attend public school, so he was homeschooled. He received plenty of support from his mother and older sister Lyra, but his father had lost himself to alcohol, drugs, and gambling, and was especially abusive towards Toby. When Toby was 17, he and his sister were involved in a tragic car accident that resulted in Lyra's death. Because of the accident, Toby's symptoms worsened. He lost his appetite, became less social than before, and slowly began to lose his memory. On the night he returned from the hospital, Toby saw Slender Man watching him from the street. Slender Man would stalk Toby wherever he went throughout the following weeks, causing Toby to have hallucinations. One night, Toby dreamt of his sister, followed by an attack by Slender Man. After he woke up, he walked downstairs and started hearing voices telling him to kill his father. After hearing the voices for so long, he couldn't ignore them anymore and actually followed through. After the fact, in a desperate attempt to escape the police, he set the neighborhood on fire as a distraction, but the flames caught up to him. Just as he was about to give up, Slender Man teleported in front of him and saved his life. 2 weeks later, after Toby had been abducted, his mother heard news stories about several murders, with the main suspect being Toby, as one of his hatchets was found at one of the crime scenes. This marked the moment when Toby officially became a proxy, or servant, of Slender Man. Alright, now after adding that bottom half of his hoodie, I'm just going ahead and adding some detail there, and then we are going to create the other part of the bottom half of his hoodie with another piece of clay and blend the top edge of that into everything else, and then of course some snakes of clay to create some wrinkles across the chest. Now that the torso and legs are at a really good point, I want to brush the entire surface with clay softener to remove fingerprints and bake this. This will save my progress, and as I add the arms and head, I won't ruin anything that I've already done. Now before I go any further, after he's been baked, I'm going to make those hatchets. So I just rolled out a snake of clay, making the handles here. I'm just sort of going to shape them out with my fingertips, like so. And then I'm going to take a flat piece of clay through my pasta maker and make the blade portion. Just going to cut that out with my broken palette knife, shape it out with my fingertips as well, and then add a little piece of wire into that handle, and of course some bacon bond, and then stick on the blade, like that. And after creating the second one this same way, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and pre-bake these. And while those hatchets are baking, let's work on the arms. I'm going to attach some clay to these just like I did with his legs. So we're just gonna sort of speed through this process. And once the arms and sleeves are looking pretty good, let's start the hands. Now I'm just going to finish off each sleeve after the hands have been added with a nice little snake of clay. Then we're going to give him his hatchets that are completely cooled down now and pre-baked, of course. And I'm just going to wrap the fingers around him like so, and then just get everything in the position that I like. And of course, add some more snakes of clay, create some folds and wrinkles on his arms. Alright, now let's start Ticci Toby's head. I created the core of the head with some aluminum foil and then I covered that in clay, got it into a shape that I liked. Now I'm using my large ball stylus to press out the eye sockets. No, we're not going to see his eye sockets, but I still want to add them just so I know where everything's at. So I just added another piece of clay for his nose, just sort of shaping that out here. Now let's add his goggles. Of course, add a little bit of Bacon Bond first and then press those on. And I created these by rolling out a thick snake of clay and cutting them into these sort of pill shapes. Now we're just adding the bands that hold the goggles to his head, like so, and then texturing them, of course. And now let's add his mask. I got this nice thin sheet of clay by rolling it through my pasta maker on the 5 or 6 setting, I believe. I'm just sort of molding it to his face, blending it in, and then of course here's some more snakes of clay to create some wrinkles on that mask. Super easy and super effective, makes a huge difference. Now let's attach his head after adding a little bit of Bacon Bond inside, press it on, and then add some more Bacon Bond to the scalp before we add the hair. I pre-shaped out these pieces of hair before attaching them, and of course I textured them too, just because it's easier than texturing them after they've been attached in the arrangement that they're in. It's just easier for me. Now let's make that hood. We're going to start with the front part of it, like so, just taking this piece of clay, folding it over, and just molding it until it looks like how I want it to. And then I end up just cutting off that back part and attaching a new piece of clay so that it's nice and smooth. And once all the final details are complete, let's brush him with clay softener one last time, bake him, and once he's baked and completely cooled down, he's ready for paint. All the paints that I use in this video are FolkArt brand matte acrylics and metallics. And I'm going ahead and we're starting with his pants, this nice dark gray color here, and then going in with this nice olive tone for the base coat on his hoodie. And next we're going to paint the skin, this light gray color. And then after darkening my olive tone, I am going ahead and painting the sleeves, like so, just making them a little darker than the chest area. And once those sleeves are completely dry, we're going to go ahead and start adding those stripes. This is an even darker olive color that I'm just freehanding onto each sleeve, like that. And then after this, I'm going to take the color of the chest and draw a thin line under each darker stripe, just like all the illustrations. Now we're just going to paint the handles for the hatchets. And then, do you like my mug? My brother got it for me. I have a great personality. Now we're going to paint his hair dark brown and then dry brush some lighter brown to bring out the details in it. And now let's go in with some desaturated sort of robin's egg blue for the hood. And I love the color palette on this guy. It's right up my alley. Paint the hatchet blades black first, and then we'll go over them with metallics later. Some details on the shoes. Let's paint his mask. Oh, this painting process is going really fast. Now let's paint the lenses on his goggles. And let's use some FolkArt Treasure Gold in the color Platinum for the blades. And then we're just painting the design on the front of his mask, which resembles a creepy smile, of course. And then going in, adding the spaces like that. He's looking pretty good. Let's add some blood, of course. And then let's glaze the lenses and the blood, add him to his newly painted base. And he's done! My version of Ticci Toby, or I guess my replication of all the fan art of Ticci Toby, is complete. Let me know what you think in the comments, and also let me know what character you want me to make next. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ace of Clay. And that's a wrap. I hope you like my version of Ticci Toby. I didn't think I was gonna like him that much, but I really do. Like, I think he's really cool, and I'm really glad that I listened to you guys and made him. I had so many requests to make it, it's not even funny. Glad I did the double axes. I really like just everything about him. He's dressed exactly how I used to dress in like high school. Like, I swear I have this hoodie somewhere. But anyway, enough of that. Thank you so much for watching and being here. And then before we close out, of course, let's talk about our sponsor, Squarespace. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring yet another video. Whether you're just getting started or you're an established brand, the Squarespace commerce platform supports the way you do business. Whether you're looking to sell products directly or even bill for your services, they've got you covered. For me personally, I love Squarespace for their portfolios. I'm constantly updating my website with more photos of my work, and I love how customizable the galleries are. And I also don't want to forget to mention their amazing email support team that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're an actual team in an office, and they'll typically respond to your questions within an hour. So with all that said, head on over to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/aceofclay to get 10% off your first purchase. And as always, again, thank you so much for watching and being here. Thank you so much for 300,000 subscribers. You all rock. Again, giveaway coming soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.